I guess I should preface this. So I just got done watching an anime, and I guess that can mean I'm emotional. Probably, probably is that. But the last poll I made on my Discord, which if you want to join, you should totally just check the link below. But yeah, I did a poll on there that asked what video was wanted next, and Talking with the Face was it. So, I think I've got something heavy to talk about again, as I normally do when I space out. Normally I've only done one. I just really deep space out before I actually make it. And trying to think of things to say. Because I grew up quiet. There's the quiet kid stereotype you can picture in your class. And I was that. Except, I didn't mean to be. In my mind, I didn't really follow any stereotype. I was just me. As my personality, but when I think back to how I would think, I don't even know what to think. I didn't really think at all. The farthest back I can really remember of not thinking at all was 7th grade. Just going into it, it didn't scare me that much. It didn't give me any kind of sensation. I went in and I just felt nothing. I went through school. I just did not care about school, so I didn't do good. And then I moved on. But I did have some friends that made it worth it. Though all I ever thought about it was, hey, that's kind of fun. Okay, bye guys. And then I'd go home and I'd play the Xbox. And I'd play the Xbox for fun, like I enjoyed it, but I don't think I actually enjoyed it. Looking back on it, I think I would just play Xbox to have something to do. If I didn't have Xbox, what do I do? And it was around 7th grade. I can see back now. I didn't notice it then, but I see it now. That's when my depression started kicking up, at least a little. That's why I didn't feel very much. I mean, if it weren't for the lunch period when I would play tag with my friends or playing Xbox, I just felt not really anything. And I didn't see an issue with this because it just happened all so quick. It just felt normal. Because, there were no side effects other than just not reacting to anything. No side effects for me. I still feel bad about my family till today because I never spoke. I never came out of my room. I still don't ever come out of my room. No, I come out more now. I try to. But I just would never come out. It's like they didn't exist. My parents lived in the same house as me, and that was it. I didn't know how to feel emotion. And then 8th grade is when I started feeling it the most. 8th grade, I started feeling it the most when I affiliated with someone that was kind of my transition from child to reality. And I remember it vividly, mostly, because it was my transition from childhood to reality. Because I had no sense of what reality really was. I still don't. I'm probably still clueless to what it's like. I think everyone's a little clueless. Even if you do know. It was a girl, yeah. And I mean, of course, me being my charming self, I still is one of the biggest mysteries to date for me. Is why me? You know, I I still look back on it all the time, thinking, why me? I was not a lady killer, if it's not obvious. I mean, I still had my really fat face, and yeah, it's just really weird to think about that she picked me. You know, because of all the people she could have picked at our school, this girl. I want you to close your eyes right now. Just just do it. Just close your eyes and think of that girl you know at your school that everyone, relevantly everyone knows, because she's considered to be pretty and, like, a lot of people like her. But she's actually, like, a nice person, you know? So that makes it even more nerve-wracking. You'd be like, I'd never go to her. That girl liked me when I didn't do anything. Why? It's like I'm a fucking scientist. And I just can't recreate it. I don't know how. I don't know how it happened. But progressively, she started coming over to me. And she started, like, hanging out with me. And it's just so crazy to think about that happened. And that 8th grade year would be the biggest year in my life. Well, to that point, still was the biggest year in my life, I think, other than the year my parents split, which I think isn't the cause of my depression, but it was something that was pretty hard to deal with. You know? Like, them splitting had been something that should have thrown me into reality, and during the time, I didn't let it. I remember when I was little, my parents, me and my sister asked them one time, I remember this. We asked them, they were like, will you guys ever divorce? And they're like, we promise, we never will. So when I was little, and it was happening in front of me, I just didn't believe it. So I spent that year on the Xbox. To be fair, if it wasn't Xbox, or maybe a little YouTube, I can't tell you what happened that year. Because I buried myself in the Xbox, so I wouldn't have to think. I didn't know what to think of it. It was like I was just playing Xbox, and then my mom was just not in the house. I didn't think anything of it. I just could not. I couldn't let myself feel it. And then, yeah, one way or another, I remember the day I, like, learned. I had been playing Xbox in my dad's room, and he got a call while he was sitting in there. And I don't remember what it was about. I just remember him walking out of the room saying something with the word divorce. And I remember after that, I was talking to my friends, and I was scared. But that's the only raw emotion I think I ever let myself feel about it. Because it didn't feel like it bothered me. Because I didn't feel like it was true. And now, it doesn't bother me anymore. I've learned to accept it. It's just, it's just one of those things that happened. I don't blame anybody for it. I don't blame anybody till today. There's no harsh feelings. Even though it wasn't good, at least I got to meet Cece, who has honestly changed our lives in good ways. That was a bit of a tangent. I went into this wanting to talk about something else. I was watching this anime, right? It was really good. I think it was called Love, Chuniyobo or something. And Other Delusions. That's the full name. I'd highly recommend it. It was really, really good. It had a great ending. Probably my favorite ending in any of the anime I've watched so far. But I don't want to spoil anything. Here, I'll just give you a different scenario then. I guess it's not spoiling. So the base character, short hair chick with eye patch, she's like a middle schooler still in her mind. And that's like one of the things about the show that right off the bat you can tell. She's like a middle schooler. And she still, plays anime in real life. She's like, I summon White-Eye Dragon. And they have like battles and shit. And it's just one of those things, like, if somebody did it in person, you'd be like, oh, what the fuck? What nerds. Like, that's cringy, dude. Stop. And you'd, like, not want to associate with them. I mean, I didn't used to be that exaggerative with it. Like, I wasn't on that level. But I used to be one of those fucking weird kids. I probably still am. Except now I don't care. If you were friends with one of those kinds of people, and you were faced with the option, the choice, would you tell them about reality and what they're doing is ridiculous? If it meant shattering their whole world? Or would you just kind of play along with them and eventually they'll ease into it? On one hand, you're crushing that person. On the other hand, you're doing something pretty irresponsible because, I mean, you can't go through life shouting anime lines everywhere, wearing an eye patch. And that was one of those things, that entire debate got me into remembering that first girl in 8th grade. Because I was a little emo. I was. I had long hair. Shit. And I typed emo. Like, I'd use those little like, text faces. Not emojis, but, like, the text faces. I'd use those every other sentence. And I'd talk a little bit like it. It's, if somebody was talking to you like that, you'd be like, ew, that's a little weird. Or like, this person's not all there. Or, I don't know, something like it's cringy. And I look at myself now, I mean, how I text, I just say, what's good, dude? And fucking like, my dude, what's good? I just appeal that way. But at which point, then and now, was I happier? I mean, I'm pretty happy now. But when it comes to relationships, when was I happier? Maybe it's okay to be embarrassing, you know? I already got that through my head a while ago. I generally don't care about being embarrassed. Like, like whatever, really, is what I think. Like at school, when I'm hanging out with Dalton and Carlos, if something's funny and it can fit the mood, like, just recently, I got on Dalton's back, and he ran through the halls, and I was like, just yelling onward, like just as a joke. It looked really funny, and people were laughing. But when you ask yourself, would I do that? Get on some dude's back during like when everyone's going through the halls and yell like onward, go, noble steed, saying hello to people as you go by. Not a lot of people would do that because they'd be like, oh, that sounds embarrassing. And the way I see it is I don't really care what other people think about me when it comes to that. When it's a one-on-one, though, I care too much. But when it comes to that kind of thing, I couldn't care less. So, I mean, if it made myself laugh, it made Dalton laugh, it made random people just watching laugh, then why? I feel good. But is that something you should tell me not to do? Because you wouldn't do that in a real situation? You know, like, in the real world, you wouldn't do that. You know, it's just hard to think about. You know, like, what do you do there? So I personally would encourage it. You know, have a little creative, just having fun while you can. You don't get to do this forever. Maybe that's just my really non-judgmental side talking. Because I'm not judgmental. I could care less. I mean, if you're like a rapist or something, you know, I might be a little like, ooh. But, I mean, personally, I don't give a shit if you use typed emojis every other sentence, or if you use asterisks, hugs you kind of thing. I don't care. I think your actions are what make you you, not your appearance, not the things you like. You. Yeah. I guess I thought about this a lot when I started watching anime. Talking about it was the hardest thing for me. Because I was like, it sounds nerdy, I don't want to. I think that was when I finally got through my shell of, I just don't care what other people think about me. Because a lot of people see me as the chill, quiet dude who's really funny. And a lot of the people I'd hang out with are like, anime's fucking weird. So I'd be like, oh yeah, anime's weird. When, no, I like it. Well, certain ones I like. Yeah, you know, it's just that kind of thing. It's hard to explain, really. Unless you have your own kind of experience with it. I know now, I just don't care what other people think about me. Because, I mean, what are they gonna do? Walk up to me and be like, hey, that's weird. Then who's the fucking asshole? You're walking up to some random dude just doing his thing, telling him he's weird? Then who's the weird one? Who's the normal one? You know? Fucking stop being so judgmental all the time. That's what I think when I see people at my school. Certain people who just judge for no reason. You know? There's a lot of factors to things. You know, you can't just look at somebody and automatically assume who they are. The whole don't read a book by its cover. I mean, you walk into the anime club, expect to go in there and be like a bunch of fucking anime nerds. Yeah, you'll find some anime nerds, but you'll also find some really good people in there too if you look. Like, I don't know. Everyone judges people. I'm not Jesus. Everyone does. If you say you don't, shut up, you do. You do judge people. Everyone does. So don't pressure yourself into, like, thinking I'm an awful person because I judged that one person. No. It's not what I'm saying at all. Just, when you can, just kind of reevaluate how you're looking at it. Looking at somebody in there fucking wearing like dark black and they're reciting like an anime thing or something. They're like waving their hands, doing a jutsu or whatever. I don't know what it's called. Like shadow hand or whatever. You just gotta remember that that's a person. They're not just some nerd. And if there's something really like extreme about it, then there's probably a reason why. Walking up to them and saying, "What the hell? What is this?" doesn't change anything. Maybe getting to know them, maybe help them out if they have an issue. You know, that might do something. I don't know. I started watching anime because of Carlos, actually. And it's been a real crutch sometimes. Because I started anime with what is it called? Darling in the Franxx? It's real popular right now, I think. Yeah, I didn't like it. Not at all. I thought it was fucking weird. But I don't know. Something about it was just captivating to me. Because it just... How do you even explain it? It looked like it would have a lot of emotion or just potential. You know, they're not afraid to do things. Like American shows, you can't say the word nipple on Disney anymore. Did you know that? You can't say nipple, because that's a bad word. Like, I don't know. American TV just seems really fake. These shows just seem real. You know, they're not going to hold back. And I love that. I love that. So much. Because just watching fake bullshit for so long, it's just... I don't know. Some of it's good. I'm not trashing all American TV. A lot of it's good, actually. You know, Gravity Falls, that one's fucking good. That's so good. But I remember watching Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. And it was just so mesmerizing. Because I did it all on my own volition. I saw it. And I saw it in the suggested. And I'm like, there's no reason. I don't know what the show is. I don't know anything about it. It looks weird. Why do I want to watch it? And no, it wasn't because big titty anime chick. Because I don't find anime women that attractive. But I watched it, and I watched the first episode, and I thought it was fucking weird. I thought it was interesting, but weird. But I had to watch more. It just explained emotion on the first episode. It just explains emotion. You can really feel. I mean, I'm really empathetic. It's one of my down traits or good traits, whatever you want to call it, of having a big heart. I'm really empathetic, so I just felt all the emotion it had in it. I just had to keep watching. And it turned out to be my favorite show. I think ever. That is my favorite show. And God, it's just crazy looking at how a show can help you. it helped me just see emotion more. Because I just started, as I was finishing up the show, to take medicine to help me feel better with my depression. And it worked. But I remember finishing that show in this hotel room, and I was crying and really emotional, which hadn't happened in years. Not in a long, long time had I been crying over, because I just was emotional, because I felt. You know how crazy it felt to feel? If you grew up like me, feeling felt the best. And I was crying because I could feel, because I felt happy. I felt something. I finished that show once, and then I watched it again, and then I watched it again. That's how much it really treasured in my heart. And honestly, I'd still watch it again. I'm not gonna, but I would. I don't want to burn myself out, but I would. But the only thing is, sometimes after finishing an anime, I just kind of am geared towards this certain style of anime. Even though they're all really, really different in their best ways, there's always like a relationship in all of them that I'm just looking at, and I just want it to happen because it's cute, and all the cute things that happen with them. I love it. I just love it so much. I love relationships. Earlier today when I was watching this anime, because I just cranked it out 5 episodes like the last ones today, because I just wanted to watch it a lot. So I was watching one of them, and it was really cute, and I walked around the house for a bit getting some water and cleaning with a smile. It just felt so good. I was giggling a little. That's just how nice it was. I just felt it so much. It's just being really empathetic. I can just feel what they're feeling, even if they aren't real. But eventually I come back to my own senses. And I think I watch a lot of these shows with relationships because I'm lonely. It feels pathetic to say that. You know, I don't feel like I deserve to say that. But I'm lonely. I miss having someone like the 8th grade girl. Or, I don't know. I miss having another girl I dated after, who was short and high-tempered and talked very loud to where everybody could hear us, and I'd get embarrassed easily because I'd look around and be like, okay, you can be a little quieter, please. It wasn't till after I could really appreciate it. I'd walk to school and I'd just get sad looking at the ground because it was quiet. Normally I walk to school, she'd be with me, talking to me about something, and being really loud. And people walking by would look over and be like, why is she so loud? I miss it. You know? I just hope she's still like that. I miss 8th grade girl. I miss having someone like that, I guess. I miss love. Someone I can just really connect with, and I want to talk to, and someone to hug, someone to just hold hands with and be quiet, even. Who can understand me and wants to talk to me, and I can we can both express our own emotions and issues. I miss it a lot. So I'm lonely. So I like watching anime sometimes to fill that void. Cause I'm no good with girls. I don't know how to, I don't know, make someone like me. So I just don't feel like I'm very likable. I mean, there's traits about me that are likable, but I'm just not the one to, you know, be the one people want. You know, I'm like the side character, you know? I'm not the main character. You know? Like in the group I hang out with, I'm not the main character. You're not looking at me always. I'm just kind of there to, put in stuff sometimes. I guess that's how I feel a lot of the time. And it's not like it's a lack of self-esteem. I know who I am and I'm proud of it. I got my own self-esteem. Even if it took me a long time, I finally have it. That's a Talking with Face episode, whatever amount, because that's going to be an entire episode. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know a lot of things. So I always go back to saying I don't know. I guess another thing that really just doesn't help me with the chicks is that I don't talk. You know? I'm quiet. Which might be surprising to hear if you went to school with me, because there's two ways you can see me. One in class and another one with Dalton and Carlos. Dalton and Carlos, you can hear me from across the school. But in class, where I'm not, like, being funny, I'm just chill. I don't talk. I try to do everything as much as I can through hand signals not to the extreme, I'm not going to try to explain you the Declaration of Independence through my fucking pinkies. But, if someone says, hey, how are you? I'll look over and be like, good. Give them a thumbs up. And then I'll probably ask, how are you? And then let them talk, because I'd much rather listen. It's with people like the 8th grade girl that I talk. When I'm with somebody like that, all I want to do is talk. I want to just talk and talk and talk for hours. It's weird. And I've tried to talk to some people. One of them went awful. One of them, I was so nervous, and I followed her down the hall. It took weeks to try do, but eventually when I did it, I walked over and I'm like, in my mind I was like, okay, all you gotta do is walk up and be like, hey, I think you're cute. Or you're in my Spanish class, I think you're cute. Could I get your Instagram or something? I was like, okay, simple enough. I walk up and I'm like, hey, I mean, that's really exaggerative. I went up and my voice stuttered a little, but I was like, I got what I wanted to say across. And right as I did it, her boyfriend came walking over right as I finished, and they hugged and kissed, and she looked at me and went, no, thank you. And I was like, oh, yeah, because I had not known she had a boyfriend at all. I mean, that's one of the things that terrifies me of talking to chicks is I don't know if they're dating someone. So I try to find out, but I don't know. Her Instagram didn't say anything about it, so I was like, okay, maybe she's not. But she was, and that was very embarrassing. Very embarrassing. But I tried that. At least I tried. And just this year, a week ago, even is when it stopped, there was this chick in my Spanish class this year, and she looked really cute. She still is really cute. And she just looks like the kind of person I could just connect with if I got to know her. And I was planning on talking to her for weeks, just trying to think of what to say and how do I talk to her, how do I start conversation and just get to know her. Like, do I just walk up and be like, hey, my name's Jared? Because I don't, it just makes me really worried and I stress and I get lost in my own thoughts. And then one day after school recently, I was just hanging out with Dalton. I was like, all right, see ya. And I started walking, and I see her and her friends walking out of school, and she's with a boy holding hands. So, yeah, I guess there goes my plan. I don't know. I don't know what to do. How do you meet people when I'm bad at talking and not funny on the spot? I mean, I can be. I'm a pretty funny guy. Like, I can have some fucking good zingers. But I just overthink too much. The best way to do it is just to go do it, right? But I don't know. I've talked to somebody. I've gotten to know someone so much and then started talking. It was during summer school. I got to know somebody and I started talking to her over like Snapchat or something, and we like texted for a long time the first time we talked. But I didn't know where to go from there. So now we're just friends. Even if I do get to talk to somebody, how do I... God. I've dated 3 girls, like, in person that were actually, like, in my life, like, I was actually really dating them. But all of them were because of that one 8th grade girl. One of them was the 8th grade girl. One of them was because of the 8th grade girl, and the other one is because of the 8th grade girl, too. I'm out of 8th grade girls. So now I gotta do it myself. They liked me. What do I do wrong now? I don't let it get to me that much. I know I can be nice. I'm a cool guy. But it would be nice to not be so lonely sometimes. So for now, I'll just focus on my studies and my friends. I have great friends. That could probably be an episode on its own as well. But I don't know if anybody else really ever feels this way. Like with you guys. You ever feel this way? I have a couple times in my life. I don't know. Alright, yeah, you have a good one.